infrastructure. Let's listen in.
Behind how we should react in the situation, in our current situation as being a road user. Then the JRA would like to urge all road users to be extra cautious in the season, and then when we go out onto the roads to actually look at the traffic reports, and then also when you encounter a flooded road, not to try and go through the flooded road and not try and measure how deep the water is, and then rather to avoid flooded road conditions in order to be safe. After our speakers have completed their session, as well as our main speaker, Mr. Funzi Nkubeni, we will also allow the media then to ask some questions. Thank you very much. At this point in time, I would like to ask Musa to talk and to present.
Good morning to the MMC, acting CEO, colleagues and the media house. My name is Musa Kajani. I'm the head of infrastructure planning. My talk is basically on stormwater and the management thereof. That is the content that I'll be taking the colleagues through. Obviously highlighting issues on project life cycle, urban stormwater management, or the composition thereof, the effects of pre and post development on flood lines, and so on and so forth. If we were to go to the next slide on the project life cycle, I felt it is important that colleagues should understand how projects roll out, because perhaps to dispel the myth that you can have a project today or in 2-3 months you are on site. It's sometimes hardly the case. In our space, we are guided by the Engineering Council of South Africa. They issue the guidelines in terms of how projects should be rolled out and the expected outcomes thereof. Again, the National Treasury has issued the local government framework on infrastructure procurement and delivery management, which also aligns to what the Engineering Council guides dictate. So from a planning point of view, we've got about 4 stages that we normally go through per project or even per program. So starting off at the planning stage on, perhaps if you like, stage 0, where we identify a project. Once that has been identified, the consultants will then be appointed to go through those stages, all 4 of them in sequence, meaning after each and every stage, it's almost like a sequential gearbox. You need to pause and get those reports or even drawings approved. The durations will tend to vary depending on the complexity of the project. On larger projects where we might take even close to 12 months during the planning phases. So colleagues might say, okay, we've got a project, there's an expectation that tomorrow there will be a contractor on site. Hardly that hardly happens, because as I said, we go through those various stages and we need to address some of those elements whilst we go through the planning phases. Obviously, we kickstart with your land surveys, your geotech, environmental issues. So, and again, consultants during those stages are not necessarily on site on a daily basis. You could go there on site once or twice. Thereafter, everything is desktop studies. Once that is completed and we have a final or definitive outcome, then we go into the next stage of the process, which are your SCM processes. And those are governed by the MFMA and obviously and the relevant regulations.